A quiet afternoon at the bakery. Anna is a young woman aged 20. She worked in a small bakery on a quiet street in a small town. She had straight brown hair that she always tied back. She wore a simple apron with the bakery's name stitched on it. She was neither very tall nor very short. She preferred comfortable clothes. Each day, she opened the bakery early in the morning. She arranged the bread and pastries on the shelves. Then, she waited for customers to come in. The bakery itself was small. There were a few wooden chairs and tables placed near the window. Outside, the street was calm. Only a few people passed by every hour. Many of the regular customers were older women. They liked to chat with Anna about their grandchildren. There were also young men who stopped by for a quick coffee and a roll before going to work. Anna enjoyed her daily routine. She felt safe and calm in the bakery. One afternoon, a new face appeared. A man sat quietly on the bench outside the bakery window. He was looking at his hands. He looked to be in his late 50s or early 60s. He had gray hair and a tired face. He wore a light jacket and simple trousers. Anna noticed him but did not think much about it at first. Sometimes people just stopped to rest. However, over the next few days, the man returned and did the same thing. He would sit outside on the bench and look through the bakery window. He did not smile or wave. He did not come inside. He seemed interested in something. But Anna did not know what. At first, she felt curious. Then, she felt a bit uneasy. Why did he never enter? Did he have no money? Or was he just shy? Anna told her co-worker, Marta, about the man. Marta shrugged. Maybe he is lonely, she said. Or maybe he has nothing better to do. Marta was older than Anna. She had worked in the bakery for many years. She did not worry easily. Still, Anna felt a little uncomfortable. She wondered if the man might cause trouble. On the fourth day the man came. Anna decided to do something. She prepared a small bag with a bread roll and a piece of cake inside. When the man arrived and sat her outside again, she took a deep breath. She walked out of the bakery and approached him. Hello, she said, trying to sound friendly. It's a nice day, isn't it? The man looked up, surprised. He nodded slowly and said, Yes, it's fine weather. Anna held out the small bag. I noticed you sitting here the past few days. Would you like some bread and cake? It's fresh. The man looked at the bag, then at Anna. He seemed unsure of how to respond. I don't have any money, he finally said in a quiet voice. It's a gift, Anna said. Please, take it. The man hesitated but then reached out. He took the bag with both hands and said, Thank you. His eyes looked tired but also grateful. Anna smiled gently and went back inside. For the next few days, the man continued to come. But now Anna felt less worried. She realized he might just be hungry or lonely. On the sixth day, he finally came into the bakery. He walked in slowly, looking at the floor. It was as if he did not belong there. Anna was behind the counter, wiping it with a clean cloth. "Hello again," she said. "How can I help you today?" The man cleared his throat. I wanted to thank you for the bread and cake," he said. "It was very kind of you. My name is Paul." Anna smiled and told him her name. He stood there for a moment, silent. Then he looked at the shelves. They were filled with bread, croissants, small cakes, and cookies. "It all looks very nice," he said softly. "Would you like to sit down?" Anna asked. She pointed to a small table by the window. Paul nodded. Anna poured him a cup of tea and brought a small piece of cake. Paul sat her down quietly. He held the cup in his hand. He drank slowly. It was as if this simple action required great care. After a long silence, he spoke again. "I lost my job a few months ago," he said. He looked down at his tea. "I came to this town hoping to find work. But I have not found anything yet. I have very little money left. I sleep in a small room in an old house nearby. Sometimes I skip meals. When I saw your bakery, I thought it looked warm and peaceful. I wanted to come inside. But I felt ashamed because I have no money to spend." Anna listened carefully. She felt her heart soften. She had worried about this man. But now she understood his situation better. He was not dangerous or strange. He was just a person in need. She thought about how she had a job, a safe place to stay, and enough food. She realized how lucky she was. She felt sorry that she had suspected him before. "I'm sorry to hear about your trouble," Anna said gently. "I'm glad you came in. Please don't worry about paying today. You're welcome here." Paul looked up. His eyes seemed wet. He quickly wiped them with the back of his hand. "You are very kind," he said. "I will not forget this." Over the next week, Paul came to the bakery a few more times. Sometimes his Saturday outside, sometimes inside. Anna always offered him a small cup of tea or a piece of bread. She did not want him to feel like a beggar. So she tried to make a casserole. "We had some extra rolls today. Would you like one?" she would say. Or, "We baked a new type of cake. Could you taste it and tell me what you think?" Paul began to talk more each time. He told Anna he used to work in a factory, packaging goods. He had been a hard worker. He was never late. He never complained. But the factory closed, and many people lost their jobs. He traveled to this town because a friend told him there might be work. But nothing had come up. He was tired and worried about his future. Anna listened with interest. She encouraged Paul to ask around. She gave him the names of a few places that might need help. She even told Marta about his situation. Marta suggested talking to her cousin. Her cousin ran a small store that sometimes needed help with deliveries. One afternoon, when the bakery was quiet, Anna decided to take a small chance. She had saved a little money from her own salary. She thought she could help Paul somehow. She came to his table with a cup of tea. "Paul," she said, "I know this might be awkward, but I wonder if you would consider working here for a few hours each week. We sometimes need help carrying boxes of flour or sugar, or washing trays. I cannot pay much, but it would be honest work. Would you be interested?" Paul looked surprised. He opened his mouth, then closed it again. After a few seconds, he said, I would be very grateful. Are you sure you can trust me?" Anna smiled. "You have done nothing to lose my trust," she said. "You come here quietly, politely, and you never cause trouble. I think you are a good person." Paul bowed his head, as if to hide his emotions. "Thank you," he said in a husky voice. "I promise I will work hard." From that day on, Paul came in the mornings before the bakery opened. He helped lift heavy bags of flour and sugar. He washed baking trays. He swept the floor. He arranged boxes. He did all of this quietly but carefully. Anna gave him a small payment each day. She also gave him a free meal at the end of his work. It was not much, but it allowed Paul to save some money. He began to look healthier. He stood taller. He started to smile more. He often thanked Anna and Marta for their kindness. Anna felt something change inside her. At the start, she had only seen a strange man outside her bakery. Her first feeling had been fear and suspicion. But now, after getting to know Paul, her feelings had changed to understanding, empathy, and warmth. She realized that a small act of kindness can make a real difference in someone's life. She also learned that many people carry heavy problems. It is not always obvious from the outside. By giving Paul a chance, she helped him find hope again. As weeks passed, Paul managed to find a part-time job in Marta's cousin's store. He delivered goods by bicycle. He now had 2 small jobs. One at the bakery, one at the store. It was still modest, but it was better than before. He was able to pay his rent more easily. He no longer looked so tired and worried. Sometimes he even bought a small bread roll with his own money. It showed that he was now a customer who could pay. Anna always smiled warmly when he did that. The day came when Paul told Anna that he had found a better job in a nearby town. A small factory was hiring. They needed reliable workers. Paul had shown that he was hardworking in his part-time jobs. One of the store owners recommended him. He was going to move in a week. "I can't thank you enough," Paul said quietly on his last day at the bakery. "You believed in me when I had nothing. You treated me like a human being, not a problem." Anna felt tears in her own eyes. "I did very little," she said. "You did the hard work yourself. I only gave you a chance." Paul smiled gently. "Sometimes a chance is all a person needs," he said. They shook hands. Then Anna gave him a small bag of bread and pastries for his journey. Paul said goodbye to Marta, who wished him luck. He left the bakery with his head held high and hope in his heart. After he was gone, Anna looked at the empty bench outside the window. It reminded her of how everything had started. She remembered her initial worry and fear. She also remembered how she had changed. Life often presented unexpected challenges. Sometimes people needed a helping hand. Anna realized that kindness could be simple. A small piece of bread, a cup of tea, a quiet conversation. All these things could help someone stand up again. In the following days, Anna continued her work at the bakery. The sun still rose at the same time. The customers still came and went. Anna's life looked much like before. But inside, she felt lighter and more confident about her choices. She had learned that the world had problems, but also that kindness could appear in ordinary places. When she thought of Paul, she pictured him working at the new factory. He was saving money. He was living a more secure life. She knew she might never see him again. But that did not matter. Knowing that she had helped someone was enough. And so, the little bakery continued to serve bread, cakes, and tea. Anna continued to smile. She never forgot that a quiet afternoon could turn fear into trust. A simple gesture and an open heart could turn sadness into hope.